ቤተሰብ መጠበቅ እንዳለበት ምክንያቱም ድንጋይ የሚወረውር የሚጣላ በሶሻል ሚዲያ የሚሳደብ እንዲህ አይነት ጄነሬሽን የወጣው ከኛ ነው ስለዚህ እኛ እናቶች ኃላፊነት አለብን ሴቶቹ ኃላፊነት አለብን ማሰብ ያለብን ከሰባዊ ማንነት ኮንቴክስት ነው ስለዚህ ይሄንን ማስተካከል የምንችልበት ነገር አለ ብለን መጀመሪያ አካባቢያችንን ከዚያ ቀጥሎ እንደ ቤተ ክርስቲያን ደሞ ሄደው በየቤተ ክርስቲያናቸው ይሄንን ትሬኒንግ እንዲሰጡ አድርግ ያለሁ
ሴቷ ተጠቂናት ከሚለው ወዴት ያሸጋግራታል አስተራቂናት መፍትሄ ፈላጊናት ወይም መፍትሄ አመንጭናት ወደሚለው የሚያሸጋግረው ምዕራፍ ነው ብዬ ነው መገልጸው
Such a small community-based conciliatory initiative focusing on peace and coexistence is where it all starts and these and other actions were inspired by a capacity building training.
The preparation for the project started in August 2021. In August 2021, start planning what can be done, how we can do it, and when we can do it, with whom. So we have a kind of a skeleton plan. We started planning, and we bring international peace and security studies from Addis Ababa University to the table for their expertise on the peace and security training and academic background. They came on board and we started planning the whole activity together with IPSS. The project implementation started in November 2021. So that's how we started the project.
The Institute for Peace and Security Studies, normally referred to as IPSS of Addis Ababa University, was the training partner in this process. So this process, we used both in-house and partner institution experts in composing an all-women training team. These include women from the Ministry of Women and Social Affairs, from the Ministry of Defense, from the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD. So the training team was responsible for developing a curriculum that was fit for the trainings. So we appreciated that these trainees had diverse backgrounds, they come from different regions, they have different needs, but most importantly, they have different skill sets, and we wanted to capitalize on that. So we conducted a pre-training assessment. Based on that, we designed a training curriculum that covered the whole spectrum of conflict handling mechanisms. We made sure that we had a firm foundation by first introducing them to the anatomy of conflict, conducting conflict analysis, and then moving on to various mechanisms like arbitration, mediation, negotiation, dialogue, and post-conflict tools like reconciliation. The format itself included experience sharing from prominent women that were able to have a candid discussion with us on the politics of peace building and what it means to be a woman in that platform. We also had participatory exercises where we used fixtures and real case studies. So we were able to test the concepts, but also see the intricacies and the complexities that come with conflict resolution processes. We had a simulation exercise as well. We conducted a post-training assessment, and that showed us really encouraging results, showing us that women were more equipped to tackle the challenges in front of them, and they also felt belonging in a community of peace builders.
አንድ ተሞክሮን ሳስቀምጥ ሰምተሽ እንደሆነ በነበረው ግጭት ላይ ወንዱም ሴቱም ሽማግሌው ሁሉም ዝም ብሎ ቤቱ ዘግቶ ሲቀመጥ እኔ ለኮማንድ ፖስቱ ፈርሜ ወጥቼ ነው የሃይማኖት አባቶችና ሽማግሌዎች ታዋቂ ግለሰቦች ሰብስቤ ከተማውን ያረጋጋሁት ከዛም ባለፈ ደግሞ የማህበረሰቡ ጉዳይ ላይ ያንን ግን የጋራ የምትሰራቸው ነገሮች መስራት በሚገባሽ ልክ ካልሰራሽ አሁን ወቅቱ ከሚጠይቀው ጥያቄ አንፃር ክፍተቶች ይፈጠራሉ ከሚል ወጣቶችን ሽማግሌዎችን ሴቶችን በማነሳሳት ማህበረሰቡን ሼፕ ለማድረግ እሰራለሁ ለነዚህ ስራዎች ትልቅም አቅም ነው ያሁኑ እኔ አሁን ያገኘሁት ስልጠና እነዛ ስራዎቼ ላይ እንዴት መሄድ እንዳለብኝ ለራሴ ወሰድኩት።
ሀገራዊ የሆነ አንድነት እንዲፈጠር መጀመሪያ እኛ ከቤት መጀመር አለብን የሚል ሚስት ሄዳ ባሏን ይቅርታን ባል ሄዶ ምክንያቱም በጣም ብዙዎቹ በዚህ በብሔርተኝነት ባል ከሚስት ጋር ሚስት ከባል ጋር የመለያየት ልጆች ከማን የተፈጠርኩት የማለት ምንድነው የሆነው ነገር የማለት የት ነው የምኖረው የሚል ኮንፊዥን የተፈጠረ ነገር አለ። ስለዚህ ያንን ለመፍታት የመጀመሪያው ነገር እርቅ መፈጠር ያለበት ከቤት እንደሆነ ያንን ነገር ትሬኒንግ ሰጥቻለሁ። ለሰፈራችሁ የሰላም መልእክተኞች ናችሁ። ከመጸለይ ባለፈ ሰላም ሰፈሩ ሰላም እንዲሆን ሰፈር ውስጥ የሆነ ነገር ከተፈጠረ ሌላ ሰው መጥቶ እንዲያስታርቅ ሌላ ሰው እንዲያስተካክል ሳይሆን ፖሊስ የሆነ ሳይሆን መጀመሪያ ቀድመን እኛ ነን መድረስ ያለብን የሚለውን ነገር በደንብ ያንን ነገር በማስተማር እነዛን ለቅቅ ያለው። ሌላው 60 ሴቶች አሉ። እነዛ 60 ሴቶች ደግሞ ሄደው በየኮንግሬጌሽናቸው እንደው የሚገርመው ጥር 11 ላይ ከዚያም በኋላ አንድ ላይ ሴሌብሬት ሻማ አብርተን ብርሃን በማብራት እኛ ብርሃን እንሆናለን የሚል ትልቅ ከ3 ኦልሞስት ከ2000 እስከ 2500 የሚሆኑ ሴቶች ሴሌብሬት አድርገናል።
We planned to train 130 women across the country, but like it's not 130 is not that many in number, but because of the resource limitation we have, we decided to have 130, and 30 of them is handpicked because they are newer member organizations, executive directors. But we plan to call others for the trainings. We were actually looking for only 50 applicants, and the applicant was about 627, and it's very tough to pick 50 out of 627. Our quota was 50, but we took 70, and we agreed on those selection criteria: age, education background, community involvement and engagement, previous experience on peace building initiatives, and we managed to bring 60 women from the application.
We all have local, cultural, indigenous systems of peace building, but one has to remember women always have a commonality, whether they're in informal, formal, grassroots, high level. So, and Africa has its own framework of operations too. Like we all know, African solutions for African problems is the motto that everybody buys in. So to bring a solution to any country in Africa, it's better to focus on an African solution. And African women have a great experience in bringing about peace in their own countries. So coming together with these African women really helps Ethiopian women who are relatively new in engaging in peace processes. So, for example, what we did earlier in March was an experience sharing, and thanks to FEMWISE Secretariat, they brought global leaders, African global leaders in peace, former commissioners, national dialogue conveners from all over Africa, and they have given lived experience of African women in bringing peace. For example, how do we connect formal engagement in peace with informal or grassroots engagement? How do we bridge the gap between the lower level and the higher level? And of course, the African wisdom will come in between. So at the end of the March training or experience sharing, the motivation, the ideas, the new ways of looking at things were visible with the participants. They were so motivated. Some of them even immediately developed their own plans on what to do next when they go back to their villages. So I believe our engagement with African women leaders in peace engagement really gave the women, the Ethiopian women in this network, an idea, actual idea or practical insight on what to do. So we're hoping to see that coming to realization and contribute to the peace.
This is just the basis of many results that we want to see through the establishment of this peace network. the peace builders that we're seeing today, individually they have power to change things, we believe, at their community, in any sector that they're working in. Moreover, as we have seen, they are now forming this network of women peace builders as a nation. So in 2, 3, 5 years and more, I would see more women, not only at the community level, but even at the middle and at the highest level, where as a country, as a state, or as a political entity that make decisions on peace and on resolution of conflicts, even on building peace for the future of our generations, I see women. Not only this women, I see more women because of the establishment of this network. This network will be very active in representing women in any processes that we will see, and even not only on established processes, but in initiating peace-building processes at different levels that I expect to see.
ተንከባካቢዎች ነው። በቃ ያንን ኢሞሽን ኤምፓቲ ዴቨሎፕ አድርገናል። ይሄ ለሰላም ትልቅ መለኪያ ትልቅ አስተዋጽኦ አለው። ሰላም እንዲመጣ፣ ጦርነት እንዲቆም፣ ኮንፍሊክት እንዲቆም አይደለም። ሩሩ ሴቶች ይሄንን የማድረግ ብቃት አላቸው። ብልጭ ብሎ የሚጠፉ ነገሮች እንዳይሆኑ ሲስተም ሆነው እንዲቀጥሉ እኔም አጽንኦት የምሰጠው ለዚህ ኔትወርክ አንድ ላይ ሆነን እንስራ። እዚህ እዛ የምናደርጋት ጠብ ነገር መቋጫ አይኖራትምና እሱም በአግባቡ ብንል አንድ ላይ ከሆንን የማንቀይረው ነገር የለም። አመሰግናለሁ።
The peace builders, before we talk about the future, I want to bring your attention to the already started processes. That is, women have started bringing action plans, asking for support. We want to do this. So in the short term, I hope to see actions on the ground in their respective villages, not in Addis, not in towns, but villages. And in the long term, I would want to see all these initiatives come together and it becomes an example to other countries, a leading example. And I hope we Ethiopian women will live up to the expectations on the ground, as we have endured all the challenges in Ethiopia and in Africa too. So I'm hoping to see women at the center of everything, particularly peace and security issues. Hopefully, we'll get there.
The joy, I just want to share the joy that I experienced in the last event, especially when we had this experience sharing from other African countries. Women who have nothing, not necessarily the skill, not necessarily the education, have been able to make things change in their surroundings, in their environment, in their country where conflict was prevailing. And our women in this peace network that participated in this event, I have seen how they had been much more encouraged and really wanting to go further than where they are now. And I saw then how we can share experiences, sisterhood, and the togetherness that we felt as African women, sharing similar kind of situations, similar economic, social, political challenges, and women facing similar kind of challenges and similar hopes for their community. And beyond that, what I saw as women coming together in this network and the hope that they claimed on what they saw in their surrounding in terms of the existing situation in our country, where there is conflict erupting in everywhere and many people being suffering, being displaced, and even violence and other things that we are seeing today. the capacity to see that this will change because of me, because of women, because of women coming together. That really gave me joy, and I do hope that this joy we have to sustain, this hope we have to sustain and keep it up. And I would love to say to the women in this network, to the courageous women in this network, who are doing more than what they have in their communities, in their families, and in their country. I would like to say congratulations.
አቅም ትዕግስት እናደርጋለን። ሶሊዳሪቲ ወይም ህብረት፣ ሰላም፣ መቻቻል ቃል ገብተናል።